Good morning. I think we've given Jera a workout today. In case you were wondering, we had a little technical problem and needed to reboot the entire controller. So that's why you saw the screen go up and come down, and I said, play it again. So welcome. Welcome home. Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everybody? Okay. I am Reverend Connie Simon, the minister of First Unitarian Church. And if this is your first time here or you're visiting, welcome. Mama Con, welcome. We are glad to have you here today. You may be noticing that I'm wearing a seriously fancy frock today. That is because our guest speaker told me to. Today we are delighted, I'm like totally excited, to have one of our First Church young adults in the pulpit. Not just in the pulpit, but running the show this morning, which includes telling me what to wear, what music we're going to have, what elements we're going to do, and I absolutely love it. So today you will hear from Caleb Cambron. Woo-hoo! Sharing his message for us today. I will let you know that there may be some discussion of topics that might be triggering to some. There is a mention of suicide, so if that is something that is problematic for you, we just want to make sure that you are aware of that now. And there will be all the other joys and sorrows and exciting things that happen in the service. There is an activity, so if you haven't gotten a piece of paper, a little piece of white paper and something to write with, let us know and we'll make sure that you get one. And with that, I have been told to sit down.
How is everyone? Good, good. Well, welcome to First Church. My name is, as Connie said, Caleb Cambron. I've been a member of this church for a very, very, very long time, since I was about the size, I don't know, my arm. But it's been a while since most of you have seen me. I have a beard now, surprise. But that is the least impressionable changes that have happened in the past few years since you've seen me. And in the spirit of change, we're going to change things up a little bit today. So those of you who are new, you have no idea what to expect. So welcome. To those of you who have been coming here much longer, before I even had a beard, this may feel a little uncomfortable, a little different. We're going to omit certain things that you may rely on every Sunday, but I encourage you to lean into that discomfort. So normally we begin with lighting our chalice, which we're going to do per normal, but a little bit different this time. So what's going to happen is everyone's going to close their eyes, not yet, but you'll close your eyes, and I'll lead you in a breathing exercise. You're going to breathe in for 4, you're going to hold for 4, you're going to exhale for 4, and then you're going to hold for 4. We're going to do a box breath, a jazz square, I like to say. But the idea of the lighting of the chalice is that it's the beginning, right? It's the threshold that we pass into our worship every Sunday morning. It's to get us ready. It's to meditate. It's our mindset, this worship mindset that we're supposed to be accepting. And we've committed this time. You've shown up. To those of you who are watching live, you've committed your time from wherever you may be to be here for these 45 minutes that, in the grand scheme of things, is absolutely nothing. So I encourage you to enjoy, to sit back, and to commit to this time as you will. And so when you open your eyes, the chalice will be lit, and we will have crossed that threshold into the next 45 minutes. So with that, I ask you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath, and begin inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 3, 4. Exhale. 4. Hold. 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 4. Exhale, 3, 4. Now open your eyes, and if you look over here, the chalice is lit. It's really just a candle. It's just a flame. It's nothing special, right? But its meaning comes from what we place upon the candle. And it takes about 17 days for something to become a habit, to fall into the routine. And for most of you, this is not your 17th time in this church, and this is not the 17th time that you've seen this chalice lit. So I'd like to call attention to it. It's a flame. That's all it is. It's flickering. You never know where it's going to go next. It could flicker, I don't know, to the right a millimeter, up a millimeter, maybe 2. You never know. It's unpredictable. It has its own life. It has its own aura of light around it. But it's a light. So we're not going to take it for granted, and we're not going to let it just happen like we normally do. So light will be something that we'll cover often throughout this service today. And so I want you to think about that, the power of light. I don't know about you, but come these winter months when it's dark before, I even eat dinner, I start to miss the light a lot more. And I think we take it for granted when the light goes deep, deep into the evening in the summer months. So though it's something we take as simple as we take in air, notice it today. And notice this light as it burns. And if you start to doze off, and if you start to feel uncomfortable, and if you start to shut down, I want you to look at the light and be reminded that it's still there, and that you're still here, and that commitment is still there, and that you can come back to us if what is said may be alarming, may be uncomfortable. And so with that, I'm going to send it over to Meredith, who could not be with us today because she is sick. So we send her our best wishes. But to the story for all ages, which, as its name ensues, it's a story for all ages. And I hope that you can take just that. Everyone can take something from this sweet, sweet story that Meredith chose for us. So with that, I hand it over.
Snow Globe Wishes by Aaron Daly. Illustrated by Claire Chirac. Lights go out. Fierce clouds blow in. Garlands fly on frozen wind. Lost connections, phones, computers. Bundled homeward bound commuters. Traffic slows. Roads disappear beneath the worst storm of the year. Picnic dinners, candlelight, darkness draws us close to night. Blanket forts, crawl in, scoot over. Kitten purrs, me too, barks Rover. Snow globe wishes, close your eyes. Snow plows rumble lullabies. Then slowly stretching, morning yawns. Look, brilliant skies, rose golden dawn. Wake up, a whisper from the snow. Do you hear its soft hello? Magic sparkles, beckons, swirls. Come outside, dear boys and girls. Children hear it best, they say, but what if on this snow globe day, families shake their busy lives, heavy doors fling open wide. And out they go, ones, twos, threes, fours, in cities, towns, and right next door, outside to winter's wonderland. Who'll be the first to grab a hand? That grabs a hand and then another? Neighbors, strangers, sisters, brothers? What if, dear friends, on this snow globe day, everyone comes out to play? To share a smile, to catch the spirit, laugh until the world can hear it, and pass it on as bright eyes glisten. Do you hear what they hear? Listen. Peace on earth, right now, right here. Peace for all throughout the year. I wonder, what is your wish this holiday season?
If we have any children who would like to go to lessons downstairs or go to childcare, you're welcome to go now. Go now in peace. This is the time in our service when we honor the joys, the sorrows, the ups, the downs, the good times, and even the hard times that have been part of our lives since last we were together. It's all part of the cycle of life, that things continue to happen, sometimes unexpectedly, sometimes planned. Often our plans don't happen the way we expect them to go. And still, we take them in, we enjoy these experiences, we live these experiences, we accept these experiences. So this week, we'll drop stones in water for all those who are on our hearts. I'll begin with those in the Ohio River Valley, the Middle America, especially our neighbors in Kentucky, who've fallen victim to the day before, the storms that came through. Almost 100 lives lost due to tornadoes and weather. Countless thousands more lives disrupted, homes lost. We drop a stone for them. We drop a stone for all of those who are victims of oppression in our society, in our divided society. Those who are suffering from loneliness, fear, illness, depression, economic despair, racism, homophobia, transphobia, all of those things that artificially separate us and cause us to forget that we are part of one interconnected web of existence. So for all of those who may not know it this morning, who may need reminding, we share your pain and our hearts are with you. We also drop a stone for our joys this week, for those things that have brightened our days, those little surprises, those big moments. A child's smile, a first step, an I love you, a birthday celebration, preparations for the holiday, whatever they may be, those things that have made you happy. We drop a stone in our water. We drop these stones because we know that the water is healing. The water represents the love of this community. When we drop a stone for our sorrows, it's that our sorrows may be softened by the love of community. When we drop a stone for joy, it's that our joy may be amplified throughout our community. So, for those we have named, for those whose names we do not know, and for those whose names are carefully guarded in our hearts, we drop these stones. And I share with you a poem entitled Winter Light by Thomas James Martin. My hands remember your brightness. Your face graces the morning, lights up the winter darkness. You light up the winter darkness. Common serpents curse winter suns. My hands remember your brightness. My hands remember your brightness. The windy blood in song on a clay harp sung. You light up the winter darkness. You light up the winter darkness. Your warmth lights the frosty air. My hands remember your brightness. My hands remember your brightness, your lovely eyes holding my smile. Only you light up the winter darkness. And you, my love, lighting the dusk, looking and laughing and full of mirth, my hands remember your brightness. You light up the winter darkness. I invite you now to join me in a moment of silent meditation, reflection, or prayer as you enjoy the image of our flowers this morning, graciously given to the congregation by Jan and Carol. Every month, we designate our Share the Plate for an organization or cause or activity that furthers our mission. For the first 3 Sundays of December, our Share the Plate honors and recognizes the contributions of our staff. The monies that are collected during these 3 offering periods will be used for staff bonuses, for recognition of their efforts this year. And honestly, for all of their work during the COVID period. They have gone above and beyond and done things that I don't think they ever imagined they would be working on, things that were not part of their original job descriptions, all while balancing and managing the pandemic in their own lives, all geared toward keeping this community functioning and together as best we could. So to the extent that you are able to contribute to this, please do. If you are not able, or if you choose not to make a financial contribution, I encourage you to just say thank you to the staff at some point in the month of December. Giving to First Church is easy, though. You can text the word GIVE to 513-717-7373. If you have access to our member system, Breeze, you can click Give Now and donate online. You can give at our website, firstuu.com. If you use any form of electronic giving, there will be a drop-down box where you can specify that this is for December Share the Plate. You may also write a check payable to First Unitarian Church with staff bonus in the memo line and mail it to 536 Linton Street, Cincinnati, Ohio 45219. If this is your first time visiting us, we invite you to let the virtual plate pass you by. Your presence is your gift to us today. Our offering will now be gratefully received.
I wanted to drown myself in Lake Cayuga this February. It's one of the Finger Lakes where at the edge lies Ithaca, where I went to school. I was battling severe GI pain, what I would ultimately learn to be a functional gastrointestinal disorder. I could eat only about 10 things. Relationships falling apart around me, discovering I was not the 100% smile I thought everyone wanted me to be. The image I had of myself shattered. I didn't know how to navigate the world. Once the mask I wore was unable to hide what was underneath. I was quite lost. But drowning in my mind was a gentle escape from the cacophonous orchestra that was my mind. I imagined it to be utterly silent, like when you lay at the bottom of a pool, a sense of nothingness that comes from being suspended in water. It felt like the sense of control I was begging for, to purposely induce that silence that I imagined would come from being underneath the surface. But every time I thought about this solution, the first thought that came to my mind was always, I can't do that to my mother. It haunted me, this image of my mother at my funeral, my impending birthday, every holiday. And though she was 570 miles away, and though I did not tell her of my fixation, she saved me. And though my professor and mentor, a close confidant and even closer friend, didn't fully know it at the time either, she saved me. Rhonda, my professor, and my mother. Two people who embody, to the fullest extent, what it is to be maternal. To provide unconditional love, warmth, embrace, grace, respect, gratitude, sacrifice. They saved me, just as all the other mothers in my life. Aunt Pat and Nana, Aunt Sparkle Patty and Aunt Mamie, Mrs. Metzger, Mrs. Vore, Mrs. Coots, Mama Khan and Mama Jalski, Gail and Anitra, Abby, Michael, Dad. Now, to 95% of you, these names mean absolutely nothing, but I implore you to insert your own quote-unquote mothers. Female was not the requirement, nor is parent. They just have to be someone who embodies what it means to be maternal. To listen, to sacrifice, and to care so much it feels impossible for someone to care about you that much. If you were listening, you would have heard Michael, my boyfriend, definitely not a mother in the conventional sense, but someone who some mothers should take notes from. Someone who taught me what it meant to show up, to love unconditionally. And my father, a father that has redefined and continues to redefine what it is to be paternal. A man that fathers everywhere should most definitely take notes from. A father that is maternal. Now, where this brings me is to the Mother Mary pendant dangling around my neck right now. It's gold, about 1 inch long. And some of you will remember that just a mere 959 days ago, I stood in this very spot, same metallic silver shoes, and declared how the mere utterance of the word God or religion, particularly pertaining to anything Catholic, would utterly repulse me. It is, if anything, a testament to the beautiful ignorance we find ourselves in at 18, to believe we know who we'll always be. But given the changes that have occurred in the past 2 years, I can only imagine what will happen in the next 5, the next 20, hell, tomorrow. But to clarify my medallion, I am by no means Catholic. I believe in something, but I'm not sure if that something is a God. I do believe in Mother Mary, though. Not necessarily about holy virginity, but of what she stands for. She is, in my eyes, the collective whole of every person I mentioned earlier. The aunts and the teachers, the coach and the friend, the neighbor, the grandmother, the boyfriend, and of course, my father and my mother. These people saved a small gay boy growing up in Milford, Ohio. A loud man taking college by the balls. A man and a boy, fragile, and bold, a dreamer and a lover of life. Maternity, embodied in each of their own special way by these people, allowed my dreams to become a reality, prevented my love of life from dying, and allowed my salvation to become just that, salvation. Now, if you'll come with me, I'd like to take you back to the lake, to the descent I was obsessed with. Picture a Disney portrayal of someone drowning. It's always this small, glowing light that gets dimmer and dimmer as the person descends. It's hazy, it's soft, its edges are ambiguous. Just a pale orb, silently flickering down. In my eyes, that's the soul. The soft, glowing orb at the core of each and every one of us. It's the sacred part of us untouched by hate and rage. It is the core of who we are when expectations and trauma and fear do not take control, when instead, love and truth take center stage. It is a reservoir of strength, of intimacy, of hope. It can be thrashed and thrown by the tides of life. It can be bound to a brick and thrown to the bottom of Lake Cayuga, and still, it will not go out. It is unconditional. So this pendant, the edifice over my door, the statue at St. Patrick's, they're a soft place to land when I need reminding of that soul. I ask Mother Mary not for the strength, but to help me find the strength within myself to push through the pain, the hardship, the day. I know that strength is there, it's just so easy to forget it. And so I ask my mother to help me find it. I ask my teacher, and my boyfriend, and my aunt, and my grandmother, and my neighbor, and my father, and my coach, and my mentor. I ask all of them to help that soul shine through whatever may be blocking its rays. Because when it does, the world is a hell of a better place. So, as you walked in today, you each received a piece of paper and a pen or pencil. If you do not have one, raise your hand and someone will bring you one. For those of you joining us live, I encourage you to quickly go and grab one, snag one. It can be the Notes app on your phone, whatever's easiest. And so while Jera plays this next song, I want you to think about the mothers of your life. Again, the requirement is not female, nor is it parent. It's just someone who falls in the center of that trifold Venn diagram. Someone who listens, someone who sacrifices, and someone who cares so deeply it feels impossible for someone to care that much. And so with that, Jera, if you will. So now, you turn the piece of paper over, and on the other side, it's blank. And I want you to write a letter, or at least the beginnings of a letter. Paper's not that big. But I want you to write a letter to one of those people that you just wrote their name on the first side of that paper. What I just read to you was the beginning, and sometimes the end, of my own letter. It's something special to tell someone what it means for them to have gotten you to where you are today. I don't think I need to tell you that. But it's so easy to let it go by. And so today, you made a commitment this morning. You made a commitment to be here in this worship space, in this worship mindset, which is, if we really boil it down, just a meditation and a pause on the routine of life. And so as Jera plays the next song, you're going to write a letter. It doesn't have to be poetry. It can be bullet points, whatever you like. The only requirement is that you let your heart out. That's it. You just show your heart onto this page. And you think about what those people or that person, whoever you choose, has done for you. What it means for that person to have sacrificed. What they sacrificed. What it means for someone to truly listen and to feel listened to. And for someone to care about you. And if you get uncomfortable, and if you don't know what to say, that's okay. Look back to the flame. Look back to the chalice. Take a deep breath and try again. And if you finish your letter early, sit in silence. We don't do it too much these days. There's a lot of that. You just sat in silence for a while as Jera played, in your own mind, if you will. So with that, I invite you to let your heart out onto that piece of paper while Jera plays. Thank you. Thank you for writing that. Thank you for humoring me. And now, as part 3, which is going to get a little bit uncomfortable, which if you're already uncomfortable, buckle in. So what's going to happen is that Jera's going to play this next song, and as she's playing, you're going to whisper the person's name you just wrote about. And we'll whisper it, and we'll whisper it, and then eventually we'll speak that person's name out loud. And then eventually we'll yell this person's name out loud. We will yell it at the top of our lungs. We will make these walls reverberate with the names of the people who sacrificed for us, who got us to sit in the chairs you're sitting in, who got me to stand here. And it may be uncomfortable. The person's name you are about to yell may be sitting right next to you. I don't know. And for some reason, I haven't figured it out yet. I hope maybe someday. I don't yet understand why we find it uncomfortable to express our love. There are some things that are intimate for a reason. But yelling the name of someone we love should never be something that's uncomfortable. Because we all know this world is a wretched place. And we all know it needs a hell of a lot more love than it's got. So this is our little small attempt in this church, in Cincinnati, Ohio, or from wherever you may be, Ithaca, Seattle, Indy. If you're zooming in live, you better do it. I can't hold you accountable, but you better do it. You made a commitment when you closed your eyes and entered this worship space, this worship mindset, that you would commit these 45 minutes. 45 minutes, that's a blink of an eye in the grand scheme of things. It's absolutely nothing. So, I'll lead you. We'll start out. And you're just going to say the name over and over and over again. And you're just going to let yourself feel it. And it's going to be kind of funky. And it's going to be silly. And it's going to feel weird. But it's going to feel good. So, with that, Jera. I feel good. I feel loose. So, now, this is time where normally we'd extinguish the chalice. But today, we're not going to. We started something today when you wrote those letters. You started something in showing your heart to someone who sacrificed for you. The ultimate. To sacrifice for you. And so my hope is that it doesn't end now. So I'm not going to blow this light out. She's going to keep flickering, just like that soul. That's unconditional. That will never go out. Just like that love will never go out. I hope you take this piece of paper with you, and I hope you expound on it. Write it further. Maybe tell this person. If they're no longer with us, tell someone who also experienced that love. If not, yell it to the wind. Whatever finds you peace, it's about connection. So this is going to stay lit. For how long? I don't know. As long as I need. And so from there, I will leave you with the closing words of Caleb circa March 2021. You've gotten the hindsight is 2020 view of me. But I'm going to read you something that I wrote in March, back in one hell of a time, one semester that you got a very small glimpse of today. I was in a class, it was called Lighting Design, that the professor and dear mentor, Rhonda, that I mentioned earlier, who is watching from Ithaca. Hello, Rhonda. She was professor for this class, and damn is she a good teacher. And we had to create this project. We had to create a lighting fixture, a luminaire, which, as you'll see behind me and next to me on the screen, is what I created. And it's funny, I didn't really have a choice to explore anything other than that cacophonous orchestra that drowned out everything else. And I don't think it's hard to see that that's the soul I think of. That's that light that I think of when I think of what's deep inside of me. And so you're going to get Caleb from March. Caleb who was not well, who was not okay, but was in the hands of some really damn good mothers. So, with that, no matter what may be drawing you to this luminaire, let it be a reminder. This might sit perched upon your entryway table or dresser as a mere object of beauty. If this is the case, I encourage you to look at the light a little closer. Explore its undulations, its soft, consistent glow. Let it serve as a reminder that the face of those who may appear anchored, grinning ear to ear, is not always the face value reflection of what lies beneath. Check in with them. For those looking for something more than singular beauty from this fixture, my hope is that this can serve as a small and gentle act of salvation. When I imagine the descent of a drowning soul, I imagine this light, a soft, warm, hazy glow, imperfect, borderless. As I write this, next to the glow of my own model, I see my soul, as if I reached down into that descent and pulled slowly until, gasping for air, it reached the surface. What you now find is that soul, wet, tired, cold, perched atop a pedestal of chrome. Not a strong beam, but a dim, consistent glow of someone still holding on. I implore you, find your own soul in its curves, its ethereal glow, its consistency. Let it remind you that a dim light is still a light.
I love that kid. And he knows it. You did a good job. And it's interesting, funny, telling, I don't know, that we were writing that letter today, because in July, I wrote my own letter, and I wear it. Couple folks have noticed that, she's wearing a ring she's never worn before. This ring is my letter to the people who loved me into being, and I never take it off. So, as we transition from worship back to our world of service, our world of being, please don't forget the experience you had here this morning. Let it be part of what guides you as you go through the other parts of your life. May that light always be lit in your soul. Now I have to share some announcements with you. Immediately after the service, please join us in the Ellen Hall room for coffee and connection to congratulate this young man, or to thank this young man for this morning's experience. For those of you who are watching virtually, you can join us on Zoom. If you need that address, please send an email real quick to member-care@firstuu.com, and the Zoom link will be shared with you. That email address is the address for any question you may have regarding our community here at First Unitarian Church. member-care@firstuu.com. Outside on the art wall area, we put up some decorations. There's a lit Christmas tree. There are cutout snowflakes that you made last weekend during our holiday hoopla. And there are some little snowflakes that look like this, where we gave you the opportunity to share what's on your heart. We've hung up those snowflakes, and there are still more. So for anyone who didn't get a chance to decorate one last week or wants to do another one this week, there are some blank ones and colored pens and pencils at the table as you exit the sanctuary. Please feel free to take one and leave it in the bowl, and we'll hang it up next week. Also, I know some of you were writing with your fabulous First Church pens. These are our gift to you, and in times of COVID, they are also a hand sanitizer. Please grab one. Many have asked about holiday services. We will be together for Christmas Eve. At 3:30, First Unitarian singers are going to offer us a little bit of music to get us in the spirit of the season. This will last about a half an hour. You are welcome to gather for that. At 4 o'clock, there will be some coffee set up for you to enjoy. And then at 4:30, we'll begin our regular Christmas Eve service. There will be a pageant. There will be some 12 days of Christmas going on. There will be some silent night going on, not with candles, but there will still be light. So please look forward to that. We hope you can join us. There will not be anything after the 4:30 service. So all of the gathering will happen in between the two earlier services. We will observe the winter solstice on Tuesday evening, the 21st at 7 o'clock in our front yard, right out here on the Reading Road side. We will be outside. Please dress appropriately. If the weather doesn't allow us to stay outside, we will come in, but the plan is to be outside. Thank you.